Good morning, Denise. I interview in this occasion. In this case, for the first place, we'll focus on our dear abilities. And well, how about we start? Okay,
Okay.
okay, perfect. Then in this job, it's necessary manage a very stressful situation. And well, in this case, how do you tell bad news to your supervisor?
Well, we know that it is an experience that is not good. I have to face this situation in different occasions or in different times. And first, I think the best way to do this is start uh, with the arguments or the causes of the problem. And after that, to say what happened or the bad news and to avoid that it would be really strong and makes a really difficult situation from this, we have to propose a momentary solution. And I think it is the way I'll say about new to my supervisor.
Okay. Well, in this case, you have an experience for this job, or and
Yes, well, about saying bad news, that's what you mean?
uh, yes, or you don't have any opportunity to give that this bad news for the supervisor.
Yes, actually, when I was working in the construction of a wind turbine, uh, there had many factors makes uh, that made a problem on the wind turbine. For example, the motor stopped to produce DC current, and it was a catastrophic situation because we were run of time to solve that problem, but I have to face the situation, and I said to my boss what really happened. It was a really environmental situation, the reason why this happened, and unfortunately I managed the situation, and it was a bad news that I had to say, but it was solved.
Okay. Well, you mentioned to have experience. In this case, for okay, in this job, they they have a new projects in the for the future. So how do you take initiative to new projects?
Well, first of all, I have to research about everything that this or any other project that I initialize involves, because the right way to have the initiative is researching to make a good plan after research to get a good project. That's what how I start or how I have the initiative to work in a project.
Okay. Well, as I mentioned, this work is have a much stress in all of the journal. How do you manage the stress at work in this case?
Well, I I have to face this problem in many times, and the best plan that or the best way to face it is first of all to keep calm to myself, and after that I have to make a plan for stages and try to complete try to complete each one of these steps or stages to get uh, the objective, even there's stress. Because if we get crazy with a lot of things to do, with an angry boss, Of course, it is a natural reaction to have stress, but the key the key is to keep calm and make a plan. And I know that as administrator, you you know that it is the that planification is the right way to get an objective.
Oh, perfect. You mentioned you take up a plan in this situation or another of this case. If you are the leader of the team, how do you ensure that the work environment remains organized in this situation of the stress?
It is the kind of the same strategy. I think the key is to make different stages, and in some cases, as a teamwork, we have to give to give each one of the parts of the work to different mini teams, for example, and to we have to supervise the work of each one of the teams or mini teams of the big team, and that's the way. Of course, before to make that, we have to make a plan when we say clearly the activities or the work that have to make each one of the mini teams. And I think it is the best way to manage organize the work.
Oh, perfect. Well, in this job, you have the opportunity to work with a team, but in more occasions, you have to be the work only with only also alone. But in this case, do you prefer work in team or with yourself, and why?
Well, it is not a question that I can answer directly because to decide this, I have to see what involves the task that I have to make, because it is important to have on mind the strategy to implement to get the goal or the objective. And in some cases, the best way is to make it in a team, but maybe it is really strange, or it maybe only happens in a few times, but in few times, but maybe it's better to work alone. But I can't say it clearly because I need to analyze the situation to say, in this case, I'm going to work better in team, or I'm gonna work better by myself, and that's it.
Perfect. And well, in this case, the company search get a new technologies and grow in the tech, in the technology world. But in this case, tell me about the process go through when you have to adapt to new technologies.
Well, new technologies is a topic, and in general, uh, I think that the only way to control it, and yes, to control it, and to be expert on this, to have to solve different technology problems, is practice it. So if it arrives to the company a new kind of technology, the first thing is research, as any other plan, research, and after that to practice and to get involved with that kind of technology. And I think that's the process, at least that I make to adapt to new technologies.
Perfect. Um, well, in this case, you be participate to a job to have a leader of the team. Uh, tell me, if you which you are the leader of the team, you need to motivate the team or after the bad news. How do you do
Well,
it?
it always happened that maybe after bad news, um the people is disappointed about the situation and don't want to continue the work. But in this case, the best way is to propose um, a solution, or maybe a future goals that are possible, and that of course maybe have different benefits to workers. And the best way to increment the the motivation is taking about the benefits, or the good news could um, that could have the bad news that we already talked about, for example.
Oh, nice. Well, for this situation, it's necessary know how do you manage many tasks. Well, tell me an example. How do you have demonstrate your ability to manage multitask in the work, for example?
Um, well, based on the answers that I told you before, the main plan or the key plan is to make actually a good plan with the stages. And because why it is important, because if you could an activity in different stages, or different activities in stages and in mini activities, you can cut your time at the same time to see everyone, each one of them. So I think that's the best way to be a multitasking person. And because if you try to make everything at the same time, it's obviously that it is gonna finish bad.
Well, in this case, if you just manage a multitask, you have many stress or problems, and you can make a mistake. Imagine that you have a mistake. How will you solve it?
Well, first of all, I make myself responsible about my mistake, and then I propose a momentary solution to avoid uh, other problems related with that. And in the time I I put that momentary solution, I try to design a new solution, permanent, and I think it's a
Well, for the last question, why should we hire you?
well, I have the skills according to the position, and what is more, I, at least in my opinion, um I am an objective person, and it helps me to create plans and strategies to get a goal.
Perfect. Well, Denise is the for this occasion. I send you an email for the next fast, or make a call. And well, see you, and I hope to see you with the working with all the team.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
See ya.
See ya.